Hey Sunshines, welcome and welcome back to For the One, a podcast by me, Alexis Ariel. I am your host and I'm happy to have you here. Listen, we have a lot to talk about, so get in here and let's chat. I got my notes and stuff in front of me, y'all, so I'm not even going to hold you. We don't know how raw and uncut this is going to be, but Happy New Year! Happy 2024! This is the first episode of For the One, a podcast by Alexis Ariel of 2024. Listen, I started filming in 2023, I think the end of 2023. And I had gotten sick and I had gotten lazy and I started procrastinating and I started doubting myself. But the Lord was like, I said do this podcast, so here I am. So I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Alexis. I am a 33-year-old teenage millennial from the DC area. I love all things arts, creativity. I love Jesus. Jesus is my main thing. Obsessed with him. What else? I'm just taking you through my life, dating, living, being in ministry, being a young lady, being a woman who is navigating the world. And I'm just giving you my perspective. So come along for the ride. I'm happy to have you here, like I said before. Anywho, so this podcast is basically, I am going to recap my 2023 and then I'm going to tell you my goals for 2024, honey. So 2023 for me it was a good year. It was a good year. A lot of y'all didn't have such a good year and I'm so sorry. Because a lot of people have gone through so much within the last year. They were looking forward to 2024 and washing away 2023. But for me, 2023 was actually a really, really, really good year. I got a new job. I'm making more money. I started dating again in 2023, which was a thing within itself. Oh my God. Why is dating so freaking hard? Like, what's really going on with these people's sons? Somebody tell me, because I don't know. Anywho, I started dating again in 2023. And I went on vacation for the first time in 2 years. Look, my vacation was long overdue. So for vacation, I went to Disney World. I went on a solo trip to Disney World for the day. And I went to Atlanta for a little over 24 hours. I had to do what my pockets could afford. I wanted to see my friends in Atlanta. And I just wanted to go to Disney World. I wanted to, like, of course, go on a cruise or go to Mexico or something like that. But plans just didn't work out the way that I wanted them to, but they worked out the way God wanted them to. And Disney World, oh my God, that's literally like the happiest place on earth. It's crazy. I don't know what they put in the air there. It's insane. Child, I got there and I was just like, ee! Like a 3-year-old. And and I had the time of my life. The month of December, I spent away from church, and I just spent a lot of time by myself and with myself, exploring who I am in God, outside of ministry, outside of my family, outside of work. And it was just such a beautiful and refreshing month. I need that month over again because it did some things to my soul. It really did something in my heart and in my soul, and it gave me that fire to be like, you know what? I really need to change some things and focus in on what God wants me to do in 2024 so that I can live the life that he's calling me to live. A lot of the times I spent my years just kind of like dipping my finger in what he wanted me to do. But going on vacation and being in a different environment and not being on a mundane schedule really opened my eyes. I'm like, Lord, there's so much more to life. And I just want to experience life in abundance because a lot of y'all had a terrible 2023. I had a terrible, I'm not going to say terrible. I had a really hard pruning season from 2014 to 2022. So that what's that? 7, 8 consecutive years of just like trial, tribulation, pruning back to back to back. And it just felt like God was not letting up. But I'm grateful for that season and that time because it's made me who I am in Christ today. So to be on the other side of that like harsh pruning season and to walk into the abundance and the peace and the joy and the love and all of those things starting in 2023 for me has been absolutely beautiful. Now what I'm not going to lie to you and say is that I'm still not being pruned. I am. But it's not as I feel like those are my foundational pruning years coming back to Christ. But I'm still going through things and being healed, set free, and delivered from some things, and they still hurt. But it's not it's not as intense as those previous years in that season of my life. So yeah, 2023 was really really good for me. Yeah, God did some amazing things in my life, and my confidence and my security within myself and my finances. Living in this beautiful apartment. Now, that was one of the trials and tribulations for me in 2023. Was in 2022 was living in this apartment, and I'm actually about to leave, which I'm actually very very sad about. But living in this apartment just kind of shifted my mind about my finances and not settling for less and going after what God actually wants me to have. God will put you in a place, in a position, not to throw you to the wolves, but to say, you got to do a little bit more. You want to be in this place? I put you in this place. I'm showing you what you could have. Now you have to do the what is required of you to maintain and keep this. And I had to fight and I had to sacrifice and I had to spend time away from my friends. I couldn't hang out. I couldn't go out. I couldn't enjoy life the way I wanted to enjoy life. But God sent a ram in the bush and increased me financially. And here I am today, growing, thriving, and flourishing. So I want to segue from that point into my 2024 goals. So in 2024, of course, my main focus is continuing to cultivate my relationship with Jesus Christ and growing in Him and maturing in Him and just staying connected. The world is crazy. The world is crazy. The world is wicked. And there are so many things that can pull you away from God that I can't afford to be pulled away. I cannot afford to be an elect that is going to be fooled in these end times. I can't afford that. So I'm doing whatever it takes and whatever I need to do to stay connected and stay close to God and really just kind of like nestle into His bosom and be like, all right, here I am. I don't want to be taken away from God's presence and what's coming in the world and what's happening in the world. I couldn't imagine being anywhere else but besides the presence of God. So one of my goals, of course, which is a yearly, daily, monthly, hourly thing, is staying connected to Christ, no matter what's going on in my life or what's going on around me. Number 2, listen, if you follow me on TikTok, I did a series called This is the Year of Me. And this is the year of me for me. Now, what that means to me is that I'm focusing on God and I'm allowing God to pour into me so that I can shed insecurities and ways and habits and focus on my wellness, focus on my finances, focus on enjoying life. That is what the year of me is. Focusing on my sensuality, my sexuality, everything that is in regards to me that I have let go because I am a recovering people pleaser and perfectionist. So in this year of my life, I was like, we are doing all the things that make us happy within the parameters of following Christ. Now look, the flesh be I ain't even gonna hold you. The flesh is the flesh. The flesh wants what the flesh wants, but I can't give it to my flesh. So I'm doing all of the things that pour into me and that build me up. That is in the parameters of my faith. Because I ain't trying to be all out here willy nilly. Because this mind will go somewhere, this body will go somewhere, and she will do all the things that she wants to do, and God will be like, ma'am, that's not what I meant by the year of me. Okay, so this year of me is really just focusing on the woman that I see myself being. I'm trying to enter into my little CC Winans era because the thing about CC Winans, she is a beautiful woman inside and out. That lady carries the Spirit of God in such a graceful and beautiful way where she's still relatable. She does not compromise. And it's just beautiful to see. Now, am I going to be CC Winans? No, because I am Alexis and I'm going to be authentically me. And there are going to be some parts of me that are just going to be like, ooh, a little razzle dazzle here, a little razzle dazzle there. But that's how God created us, to be uniquely us. But I want to be my own version of housing the Holy Spirit and walking in this world as a light and being my authentic self. So that's goal number 2. Goal number 3, we're going to interchange goal number 3 and number 4, because before I get to number 4, which was going to be number 3, we're going to say I am saving more and tending to my finances and paying off my debts. You see why I put that one first? You're going to see why I put that one first before number 4. Goal number 3, being financially literate, being financially wise, and saving and paying off debt. I currently just finished a 21-day financial fast. Do I have the book? My book is back there. It's a book called The 21-Day Financial Fast by Michelle Singletary, I believe. My cousin is guiding me and my friends through financial responsibility and becoming debt-free. Because the word tells us we should be the lender and not the borrower, but the majority of Americans today are borrowers. And Christ calls for us to live differently. The word calls for us to live differently. So why are we going contrary to what the word is saying? We should be the lender and not the borrower. We should be the head only and never beneath. So, the head only and not the tail. Above only and not beneath. So, I really want to focus in on knocking out student loans and old school debts. And I'm surprised that I'm not in as much debt as I thought I was, because debt can be scary. You can look at that and just be like, I'm not, we're not doing that. Sorry, that's my work computer. I'm on my lunch break filming this. We're not doing this. I'm not looking at that. I'm going to be in debt forever and blah, 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 blah. We make these declarations in these impoverished mindsets when God is like, okay, you want to live exceedingly abundantly like I promised you, right? That's not just a house, car, husband, wife, and whatever else you think that is. That's also being debt free. That's also being able to have the finances to fund the kingdom. That's also being able to have the finances to help your family and friends or whoever God calls you to help. And having that money and that wealth and that mindset of wealth handy so that you can do what it is that he's called you to do without hindrance. Because a lot of our issue is that we don't have enough money. And if we don't have enough money, we can't move forward the way we need to. Living takes money. You see inflation? Girl, a box of cereal. Why is a box of cereal $5? Why am I paying $5 for some Rice Krispies and Fruity Pebbles? Okay, I'm going to have to start making... But, yeah. So being financially stable, being financially free and debt-free in this season of my life, and being realistic about paying off my debt, because I'm not going to be in debt forever. Number 4 is traveling more. I want to travel because traveling does something to us chemically, emotionally, physically, spiritually, where it's just like this beautiful reset. And you look at your life outside of the hustle and bustle of all the things that you have going on, And you're able to really step back and get a bird's eye view of what's going on. And it gives you time to look and say, well, maybe I want to change some things. Maybe I want to do some things different. You'll start to hear God more clearly. You'll start to do things differently. And with travel, I don't want it to be an escape from the life that I already have, but I just want it to be something that is a refreshing. Yeah, I'm going to work. I got to make money. I'm going to work. But I don't want to be in a space where I am trying to escape such a toxic work environment that I'm just running away from my problems. If you are in a toxic work environment, maybe it's time for you to consider leaving and doing something different and really honing into what God is trying to do in your life. And a lot of you are in that position of a toxic work environment for God to push you and propel you into another space. But I want to travel more. I want to live more. I want to see different cultures. I want to see the world. I want to see what the Lord has created outside of these here United States of America, which is a beautiful, vast, huge, amazing place. But there's so much more than this tiny, tiny space that we live in these mundane things that we do every day. So traveling more was number 4. And I want to, and the last thing, number 5, is being consistent with content creation. The Lord has been telling me to create content for the last 1,000 years of my life. I'm embarrassed to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I've been creating content on and off since 2011. Probably even earlier than that, when the old YouTube girls used to be out here killing the game. I used to do outfit of the days. I used to show people how I used to do my hair all jacked up. But I've been doing it on and off, and I've always been afraid to really step out there because of the insecurities that I have. But God is like, no more. This time is going to be the last time, and you're going to do it. So I'm being obedient in content creation, no matter what it looks like, no matter what I sound like, no matter what is going on in my life. I'm trying to show up in such an authentic way to inspire God's people and to look back and inspire myself. I was just watching a video of myself from the top of the year, and I'm like, wow, you are really keeping to what the Lord has told you to do. On day 3, you would have given up and you would have gone back to your old ways. But look at you a whole month later, even though there were obstacles in between, you kept going. So content creation is something that I want to do and keep persistent with so that I can grow and get better. Because if we stop and start and stop and start and stop and start, you always stunt your growth, and you're never growing from the point of where you stopped. You're literally starting all over again. So I want to be consistent in that. So yeah, that's my little spiel for, what's been going on in my life, my 2023 recap, and my 2024 goals. Now look here, let's talk about some things. Between Taylor Swift and William Murphy, I don't know who's worse with the swag surfing. Okay? Sir, no swag surfing in the church. Miss Taylor, we gotta put some sprinkle in that swag when I surf. We just gotta put a little sprinkle in that, girl, and you'll be fine. But child, the media, first of all, Usher in the Super Bowl. People have been saying, we're not gonna talk about this performance on Black History Month. Da, 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 da. First of all, I love Usher Raymond. I love USHER. I love him. I'm obsessed with the man. The man is gorgeous. The man is beautiful. My first ever celebrity crush. But that Super Bowl performance was a bit much. It was just too much going on. I feel like from start to finish, the concept should have been super Atlanta focused, and it just should have started differently. The best part to me of that show was her coming out and jamming on that guitar. I was like, girl, yes! I'm obsessed. I was obsessed with that part. But the artistry of Usher, he has so many hits. The hits are layered. The hits stem all the way back to the 90s. So him singing, his major hits 10 seconds at a time, it's just like you doing a lot, friend. I enjoyed it, but I feel like it could have been more simplistic and it could have been better. So that is my hot take on Usher's Super Bowl performance. I don't want to take anything from this man. The man is super talented, super beautiful. He seems like an amazing person and a star in his own right. But that Super Bowl performance was a bit much. It was a bit much. It was a bit much. It was a bit much. But yeah. So that's my hot takes of, this episode. This is the end of the episode. We're going to end every episode from here on out. Talk to me nice. Because a lot of us are not talking to ourselves nice. So get in here and let's talk to ourselves nicely. So welcome into Talk to Me Nice, where we have our affirmations for the week that are biblically backed or whatever piece of inspiration it comes from. So today's affirmations are brought to you by the Baddies Council of Jesus Christ. So here we go. The first affirmation is body and soul. I am paradise. Say it with me. Body and soul. I am paradise. Now that is inspired from the book, the good book, the spicy book, Songs of Solomon. I think it's chapter 4, verse 13. Yes, and it's in the Message version. Body and soul, I am paradise. I'm not going to explain what that means. I want you to sit down and think about yourself as you recite that affirmation to yourself over and over again. Body and soul, I am paradise. Your next affirmation is I am a masterpiece by the divine and almighty creator. I am a masterpiece created by the divine and almighty creator. I am a masterpiece created by the divine and almighty creator. That is inspiration from, I believe, Psalm 139, 13 through 14. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I believe when you break down the words fearfully and wonderfully made, it will break down to a masterpiece. You are the awe-inspiring creation of God. So you are a masterpiece created by God himself. So repeat those throughout the week. I love you guys. And I will see you next week for another episode of For the One, a podcast hosted by me, Alexis Ariel. I love you guys so much. Bye.